We're actually got some prizes for the pitch contest. We got some XRP. Everybody in attendance today is going to get 1,000 XRP. So if you signed in at the front desk, we're going to send you an email, and then you guys can get your Ripple wallet signed up, send that over to us, and then we'll give you 1,000 XRP to get started using the Ripple wallet. So that should be sweet. For the people doing the pitch contest today, we got 3 prizes. Third place, 200,000 XRP. Not too bad. Decent value there. Then second place, 300,000. First place, 500,000. And everybody that does a pitch will get a cool Ripple developer shirt. So go talk to Alec once you're done with your pitch, and he'll hook you up. All right. So with that, do we have pitch participant number 1? Who's going to be first? You're going for it. All right. Brave soul. Thank you, Stu.
My name's Stu. I'm from a company called Sparkle. I'm here to pitch a multinational gateway to the Ripple network spanning the UK, the USA, Brazil, and Colombia. Sparkle already runs cash-positive businesses in each of these territories. We're currently increasing our advertising spend in Brazil to capitalize on the World Cup, the soccer tournament that's happening there this summer, which means we're increasing the number of transfers between our UK business and our Brazilian business. We all know that these are slow. They incur currency exchange fees and bank wire fees. I've got a friend, Juan, who lives in Los Angeles. He's a Colombian, and he wires money home to his family in Colombia every month to pay for his nephew Nicolas's soccer academy. He also complains that the transfers are slow. He's bitten by currency exchange costs and expensive bank wire fees. Here's the cool part. Sparkle already has existing businesses in these territories. That means that we have local fiat balances in our local bank accounts. This puts us in a unique position to leverage the Ripple network to address the pain points in moving money internationally: the speed, the currency exchange rate, and fees, and the wire transfer fees. So it's implicit in the solution that I'm talking about that we have cross-currency and cross-gateway liquidity right from the get-go. This means that multinational businesses will be able to instantly and efficiently manage their cash flow across different territories, and people like my friend Juan will be able to send money home quickly and at the best possible rate. Maybe we'll see his nephew Nicholas in the World Cup in the coming years. Thanks.
Hello. My pitch today is actually beyond simple. I think what's a constant problem in Bitcoin is, how do you start? Where do you get your first Bitcoins? Where do you get your first cryptocurrency of any type? Everyone wants to mine them. Not everyone can really get them, though, because mining is impractical for some of the new ones, or some of the older ones, and only for the newer ones is it really practical, like Doge. BitPay made a revolution. It made merchants all of a sudden very capable of moving Bitcoin in large amounts and turning into fiat very quickly. It all of a sudden made things like gift very possible. I now buy a lot of things on Amazon straight for my Bitcoins. It's amazing. The big problem is, how do people right now get their money? You get all of your money in paychecks. There needs to be a solution for cryptocurrencies to solve that. You should be able to get a portion of your paycheck in cryptocurrencies. What I would like, and what I need, is partners to potentially make a payment solution where people would get a get their paycheck wired to us. We would then distribute a portion to their checking account in whatever ratios that they desire, and in whatever cryptocurrencies they desire, get then passed on to the appropriate wallets. They can even give us BIP32s, and we can abstract that, obviously. I think this is going to be critical to move to the next phase.
Hi, everybody. I saw an Englishman up here already, so it's good to have an Irishman coming right after him. Or third, anyway. My name is John Whelan, and my application is called Coinist, and it's been under development for the past few weeks. Unfortunately, it's not quite ready for showtime yet. Coinist is an application to help Ripple users navigate and evaluate all the different issues, gateways, and other participants that are on the Ripple network, using standardized ratings and feedback from other users just like them. You can think about it as a Morningstar or a Moody's, but built for crypto 2.0. The problem really boils down to trust. These days, every day, there's a new issue on Ripple. There's a new gateway popping up. several months down the road or a couple of years from now, there are going to be hundreds and thousands of different issues that represent all manner of things, whether they're commodities, fiat, contracts, insurance products, you name it. And for new users or any users to the system to get their arms around what those issues actually are and if they live up to their specifications and their gateways, if they're any good, etc., to understand whether or not you can trust them is going to be a big problem. And as Mr. Larson here said in a previous interview, there are 3 legs to the Ripple stool: trust, utility, and liquidity. And without trust, there is no utility or liquidity. So essentially, the solution to the problem, Coinist, we're going to start with a database of every single issue on the system that'll be kind of in a standardized, structured format, and augment that with, again, standardized user ratings and feedback that'll ask questions along the lines of, rate the ease of redemption of the IOU or the liquidity of the product, etc. So you can think about it in, it's similar to some other products that are in the market in the financial world. And as far as perhaps monetizing it, which shouldn't be too difficult, we charge some kind of listing fees for issuers of IOUs on the system, or preferably actually license the information back to players like D-Trades and Schwab's and maybe even Morningstars of the world. So hopefully Coinist will come back with some kind of victory from today's event. Vote for us. Thank you.
So I'm tempted to spend 2 minutes pointing out the art on the walls here and questioning why it's sold in a gallery's office instead of being auctioned on Ripple. But I think everybody on the panel and most of the audience is convinced that Ripple has a bright future for selling goods and also trading currencies. So I want to look at why it's so good at doing that. And basically the reason is it's got this brilliant consensus algorithm that allows it to aggregate and share information both efficiently and reliably. It's so reliable and accurate that we trust it with our money, even though it's a world full of dishonest people. So if we have this incredible potential to distribute information accurately, what else might we be able to build with it? And what I want to pitch for you guys is a voting application. So counting votes is a lot like counting dollars, and there are more similarities than that. In the Ripple commerce world, excuse me, a gateway issues currency into a wallet. In an election, an authority would issue choices or votes onto a ballot. And in the commerce world where a consumer sends currency to a vendor, in the election world, a voter would cast a vote for a candidate. So imagine a case where somebody scans the Ripple ledger and determines that everyone holding a certain currency is considered a shareholder and grants each of those shareholders another currency, which is a vote. They then cast those votes for one or more candidates for, say, a board of advisors election. Such a vote would take place very quickly, efficiently, and cheaply, and everybody who votes would have a guarantee that their vote was properly counted. So these are all very desirable features in a vote, and the system could work for more complicated cases as well. And if for a political election, voters would want to know that they have anonymity, and 2 minutes is not enough to maybe discuss that, but I do have an idea how that could be accomplished. And other features like splitting votes, maybe I vote 60% for one candidate, 40 for another, and 0 for a third. Or maybe I have an algorithm where I have a first, second, third choices. All of these things become innovative and possible. So I think it's an intriguing idea. I'm happy to answer questions about it if you guys have any. Thanks.
Just one quick question on that. Do you need to wait for contracts, or is that a pre-contract venture?
So I think you could do some simple voting without contracts. It's simply a matter of which candidate has the most of the currencies in their wallets represents the winner. But you can also imagine some of those other cases involving contracts to do some more sophisticated things.
You could make vote selling and buying much more efficient, too.
Well,
Not sure you'd want to, but...
One reason you might want to run a separate network is to avoid the appearance that votes were so much for sale.
Hi, my name is Andrew White, and I work at the Ripple Hedge Fund Incorporated. That's in formation. And I want to create 1 million gateways, and I want to do this with a cloud-based service written in a Java application, and it can be viewed online with a demo right now. The pitch for this is that in 30 minutes, a gateway can be created, fully done front end and back end, and anyone can modify the currencies, the features, modules, accounting that they want. It's already done. There's an administration interface. They don't need any technical background or knowledge in order to run the gateway. They just need to take care of their local compliance, local banking issues, and issue any kind of currency that they want. And we can do this, again, we think within a 30-minute window. And it's going to be based on a Java server stack. And we're going to be having an API access for this, and in the near future, we're going to have a hackathon. It's called hackthisgateway.com, where if you can actually exploit the service, we'll pay you back 5,000 XRP for making that exploit known and letting us fix the bug. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Gowei. I come from Tennessee. I have been working on the business called Fortune Harbor for a couple of months. Basically, it's a hosted Ripple wallet service. My intention is to introduce the Ripple payment network to everyone, so everyone can be easily using. For payment, I want to integrate the Ripple net payment into every e-commerce website so they can allow user to send payment in a chatting conversation. When they go to the checkout page, now you can see Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and I want to add my method as a new way for user to pay. And all the wallet is linked to the social media. So as everyone has a Facebook, Gmail account, and by linking this social identity to your wallet, I allow the user to be easily used by simply sending pay this amount, and I do all the transaction, constructing the transaction and submit to the Ripple network. So the money can go through, and when the merchant or the target receive the money, they get a notification in email or as a HTTP post request. And also, you can send payment to your friends all over your social media. And also, you can send salary to your employee for the merchant. And also, this can be automated into a program as I can expose the API. Also, you can do donation by sending donate Wikipedia $5. And I just talked to some incubator about the possibility. For example, Coca-Cola is going to donate some money into cancer research and distribute this amount of the currency to the participators that donate the computing power to the payroll computing research. Now we can create a new currency for Coca-Cola as a COK, and for each computing power, we can distribute this currency every day. So when they go to Coca-Cola, they can. Time's up. Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm Kyle. So a problem that I have very often, and maybe you do too, is when I travel, my bank just shuts down my credit cards, and it happens more often than I'd like. You know, I'll be, even in the country, I'll be in Los Angeles, and Wells Fargo will be like, no, you're not in Los Angeles. I'm like, I know I am. So I was hoping to make essentially an emergency gift card, that the easiest way to test that would be you have a currency, and you could, US dollars, and at certain retailers, you'd be able to scan it like maybe a QR code reader, like in Bitcoin merchants, and maybe eventually get up to swiping cards or that kind of thing. And essentially, you would have whatever currency you are in, and it would allow you to scan it like a QR code. Ripple would handle the conversion and give the merchant whatever they are looking for. You could test it around town using just US dollars to Bitcoins, using Bitcoin merchants. And I think at the low value of something like $25 or $50 that is used more sporadically, it'd be easier to kind of convince people that this is a safe way to try it out. So let's say you go to a foreign country and you don't even have your phone's out of battery and you don't have any way to even charge it. You could buy a charger using, they could scan this. You could pay for a charger and then maybe call your bank to sort out your banking issues. But it would be kind of a step, and it'd be at such a low value that if you did lose it, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. So yeah, that was kind of my idea.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Light. I'm here on behalf of a company called Bitwall, and we're creating a product called eSpend. eSpend is a reloadable debit card that you can load digital currencies onto from the Ripple network. The problem that we're trying to solve is spending. So right now, we've, of course, seen a wonderful proliferation of merchants accepting Bitcoins, and that's great. However, at the regular point-of-sale system, it's still difficult or impossible to spend Bitcoin. So with the eSpend debit card, you'll be able to load Bitcoins or Euros or Litecoins or XRP, any other digital currency on the Ripple network onto a reloadable debit card instantly and swipe at the point of sale, and the merchant receives USD, obviously. So the problem of spending is being solved by the debit card because you get the instant load, your money is stored in an FDIC-insured bank account in USD, and as you're spending money, you're actually earning progressive XRP rewards. Because it's a debit card, you can spend it anywhere that debit cards are accepted, and you can also withdraw cash USD from any ATM that accepts your debit card. We already have secured a card provider. We're hiring developers right now, so anybody who's interested in this project, please get in touch. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. Thank you.
Hey, John, does that convert on the fly, or do you pre-convert it? Do you load it with dollars, or do you load it with Bitcoins and swipe it and it switches over?
So the phase one is there's going to be a QR code that you scan to get the currency from your Ripple wallet into your eSpend account, and it's converted by Ripple on the fly into USD, which is deposited instantly into your account. So when you're at the point of sale, you get your total. It's literally as fast as getting out your smartphone, scanning the QR code. If you want to convert your Bitcoins right at that moment, the card is immediately loaded and you just swipe it, and the merchant doesn't even have to know that you have a Ripple wallet. It's really that fast.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alex, and me and my team are running BitSpace 360 down the street. We're the first cryptocurrency co-working space and a community spot in the city. We welcome newcomers and crypto developers to familiarize themselves with this space, and we offer opportunities for newbies in a crypto space to come get their first Bitcoin, educate themselves on the technology. For experienced developers, we run development hackathons, meetups, and we throw 3-4 events a week. We will have a meetup tonight. It's a trading meetup, which is the oldest one in the city, Buttonwood SF. We will have a party on Saturday. It's a blockchain party. First, we will have a Bitcoin and Ethereum talks until from 7 to 11 p.m. And then we will have a party from 11 till 4 or 5. So if you'd like to have a good fun with the fellow cryptocurrency developers, please join us at bitspace360.com.
My name is Heidi. I'm a nurse, and I'm also a developer. I work in the mobile health tech space. I originally came to pitch another idea, but my legal team told me ixnay. So, whole new idea. In the healthcare space, it's really difficult for physicians and especially alternative care providers like medical marijuana recommenders or dispensaries to collect payments. They're usually cash, they're usually really expensive, and unless you have the money up front, there's no way to do it. So I propose a Ripple-based healthcare payment platform where physicians can arrange ahead of time how much a patient will pay weekly or monthly out of their Ripple wallet and arrange for that to be done through the banks. This also provides anonymity for both the patient and the doctor where this money's going. And I think there's huge potential here, and it can be basically spread across the entire platform. With Obamacare, expenses are actually going up, and we need better ways to be able to pay for things, and I think Ripple is the solution.
Hi, my name is Greg Stevens, and we're Cotent, and we've been waiting 10 years for this moment here. And before I sort of get into this pitch, I want you to know about who we are and how we got created. So we were created about 10 years ago as a solution to government. We were created to be an autonomous, sovereign part of the government to actually solve economic problems in terms of creating an independent motion picture industry in San Francisco. So I don't know if people know this, but in San Francisco, the Convention and Visitors Bureau and Moscone Center, they're created through law, funded by government, but they're separate entities that are not influenced by politics or corruption. They sort of are engines that drive the economy in San Francisco. So Cotent is actually attempting to reinvent government and solve problems that have been unsolvable before. So we were created as this sort of hybrid initially, as part government agency, part 501c3. Now, our initiative was in 2004, it was Prop L. So we were made to fulfill this sort of mandate, and we were also made to be sort of self-correcting, and that our whole mission is about being able to survive and continue with our mission. So we have evolved, and we have turned into a type of organization that you have never seen before, that we believe is the solution to many of society's problems. So Cotent is actually multiple organizations as one. So it acts on behalf of the government. It actually is also works with business, and it incorporates utilizing technologies of being a benefits corporation and also about being a 501c3. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the independent motion picture industry to the little artists for the first time by creating a system of microfinance, barter exchange system, and community, and guaranteed royalty payments. And imagine, by working with the government and doing this, we have studied this and we have solved this. We can create a $5 billion industry in San Francisco, and for the first time, the geeks and the nerds can help the artist, help them survive. And imagine how happy they will be. They won't care about those Google buses because you've given them a job. Solve that problem. Now they can do what they love and quit their day job. Imagine you guys are the heroes, and all you have to do is let us have our funding so that we're not beholden to other government parts of the government trying to stop us. And we'll protect you as well.
First thing, there are three problems with cryptocurrencies, crypto commodities, and marketplaces in the nascent industry. We're going to solve all three with partners who already transact value. First one is there's nothing backing the granular currency. You can say you trust a certain person. I love that feature on the Ripple platform, but you can't say, if I trust them, I'm backing my transaction with something like every other alternative currency, like the dollar and others are, backed either with the debt, belief in credit, or with gold or whatever. We need to allow that to happen. If we can back it, but if it could be island miles, it could be couch surfing time on Couchsurfing, it could be a free conference pass. That lets you apply value that you control to your currency. Secondarily, the second problem is outside people can affect the value. So when a transaction, if you want to go to scale, like, oh, maybe a big company buys oil in one area and then a quarter later they transact it for tax purposes, we can't lock the value. We need the ability to you can back stuff individually, that no matter what other outside influences, like Soros, whoever messing with your currency or your transaction or your commodity, you can be able to say, I'm going to give you this no matter what happens. That builds higher trust, and it lets you also then have data to be able to set value for separate individual currencies. Because with so many currencies, it becomes a mess of value. Look at the commodities market when you didn't have open data about value. Thirdly, and this is the most important thing, when you do those first two pieces in the stage that gets this from being a product or a platform where the cost may arbitrage and the product is a home run hit. I know I'm an ex-Apple guy and a Cisco guy. You get to a system where everybody uses the same structure or API processes and protocols, like HTTP or HTTPS. And actually, people then say, if I have best practices here and I have metrics about the success ratio and the cost, I can then say, I'm going to adopt this. And that's the last part. Then we get people with alternative currencies like airline miles or like the Oakland Oaks, where stores right now, if you get that in Oakland and the Bay Area, you literally can go in with this secondary currency, receive goods or services or other data or other opportunities that have value in a negotiated open marketplace, and be able to eat up those or roll up those markets as a technology and data system around that. And that's how you get to a digital, granular, cryptocurrency commodity market, which is what we're going to have. At the end of the day, individual currencies are just ways of storing value. If we can be clear about what the value versus the risk and the cost and the profit, we actually can get what I call trust dollars, or as we say in my neighborhood, word dollars, because your word matters. And if I know what your word matters and value and what you back it with, I can decide if I'm going to do a transaction with you. Even worst case scenario, the risk is maybe worse, more than reward or less. And that's how you build real marketplaces. I've done a couple of those, helped make Apple a couple billion off iTunes, and helped advise the feds. I made my first money data investing in property using the value of the fact of lack of an actual renter's credit in California and owner finance notes with the co-housing movement for people to actually buy property for cheap and help the owners.
So the name was webplatform.org? Is that the name?
No.
Oh.
It's what I'm building is we're doing base with Ripple, but we're actually going to be building what's called word dollars or trust dollars. One's the urban imprint for people. Forget Kanye dollars. And that each people will be able to back it with whatever. They could have a conference pass. They could have airline miles. They could have Uber dollars. You can back it whatever you want, and you can set a value. Then you manage the risk. And you manage even the change in value with the XRP, which is a major problem with any currency you don't control value. Because that's why commodities are a problem. You got risk there, but if we didn't have money in the commodity market, none of us would be eating food because all the wheat, bacon, orange juice in the world is funded there because banks aren't smart enough to manage that data risk. I think nerds like us are better. I mean, I helped build the Cicero Regional Lab, National Science Foundation, advised on the Fed and recovery. That's why they're renting to own all the property in the world. Look at, by the way, nerds, whole housing, owner finance notes. You find somebody underwater, their credit may be fucked up, you want to buy, you don't want to put 50, 100 grand down, give them another extra $5,000 to $100,000. You can buy property in an owner finance note, it's legal. Hack the system and then make money off the arbitrage.
Hello. So essentially one of the ideas I've been thinking about is the idea of taking cryptocurrency into more of the physical real world. One of the big issues right now is that a lot of cryptocurrencies completely online transactions. How do you take it the next step? Mass market adoption is when you start to allow it to become useful in your everyday life of purchasing at the store, purchasing things, groceries, wherever you go. So the basis for that idea is creating essentially an e-card, something similar to what Coin has done with these reloadable credit cards or Green Dot with prepaid credit cards, but essentially a card that's able to piggyback off of the current credit card system infrastructure that's out there, merchant processing accounts, and able to connect to actual Ripple or Bitcoin addresses so you can buy things in the real world with cryptocurrencies very easily through an existing system. Most likely you'd probably still have to deal with the transaction fees that are already part of those systems, but that might be an adequate trade-off just for the exposure and the accessibility it gets for a lot of people.
For third place, we actually have a tie. Drum roll, please. East Bend, John Light, come on up.
Thank you.
The judges are going to give you some feedback.
Yeah, congratulations. So, again, in the spirit of the Olympics here, we thought, you can have a tie for bronze. So we have a tie for. There's a lot of great projects, by the way. So great job, everybody. And we thought there were some really creative, original things here. So again, we love the idea of the reloadable card, and it sounds like you've actually made some quite a bit of progress if you've got actually partners, lined up to execute that, because that's hard to execute. But clearly, this idea that again, value can be spent anywhere without maybe even the merchant knowing that the origination of that value was something in this new world. I think it's pretty cool.
Thank you. Thank you. We also think it's great for I mentioned a little bit XRP rewards. It's a way to get XRP out there to people, so they don't even really know what XRP is, but they just see these value tokens that they can convert into USD to offset maybe some of the costs associated with the card. So it's a way of also helping to solve the problem of how do we get XRP out to the world. You know, it's
merchant rebates. Cool.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Great job.
And our other third place winner is Dave Cohen with his idea for voting.
Hey, congratulations. And by the way, these are two full third place prizes. By the way, it's not
splitting the winnings.
Yeah, you don't split the bronze medal in half. So, so yeah, we thought the voting was awesome because it's very creative. It's using these protocols for something completely out of the box. Yeah, it's a ballot box.
Out of the ballot box.
Okay, all right, never mind. So yeah, we thought that's great. There's huge implications for something like that, and hopefully spawning more ideas that are trying to use these things beyond finance.
Sure.
These were cool.
Yeah. Right on. Thanks.
Thought it was a great idea too. There are tons of applications for voting. Classrooms, offices, like what kind of coffee machine to get and where it should go. It seems like it's a great use of the technology. Apart from as a currency platform that I think will really help drive adoption, and maybe people later will realize, oh, I can use this for currency too. That's cool. But I think just more uses, the better.
I agree. You guys know the blockchain obviously is being used for DNS, everything from DNS to microblogging, and I feel like the ledger could also have a lot of applications. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks.
In second place with the silver medal, we have Corn-Fed Hobo with his awesome payroll idea.
Thank you.
So no, congratulations. So we all thought also that there's just a real practical need. So I think the consensus was that actually a lot of people are actually asking for this. That's just another funding source. Tons of value already flowing through payroll, and if there's already a problem in connecting, kind of traditional value into these new systems, this is a creative way of solving that, and something that people are actually asking for. And Jared, I think you want to mention.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I think in San Francisco, you see a lot of people that. I mean, I've known a lot of people that have asked to be paid in Bitcoin or XRP on the paycheck, or at least part of it. And also, I don't think it'd be terribly difficult to implement. It's also fairly low on the fraud side. You're tying it with the payroll provider. And I think it's a great way to get people using these alternative currencies. It's going to be a while before we see it in like Tulsa and whatnot, but for now, I mean, I think it's a great market, and I think you could really execute it, and it could be huge.
Who knows? We did have that Kentucky sheriff that now wants his paycheck in Bitcoin.
One great thing is you don't have to hold people's money for very long, just as long as it takes you to disperse it. You'll have to buy the Bitcoins or XRP, but then you can give them right out. So you're not in a position where you have high risk.
Precisely. And if banks ever start partnering with Ripple, this actually opens up an even more interesting option.
Right, and the accounting aspects of it as well. I mean, you could have someone that wants to review their paycheck, and they can just look in the Ripple ledger. I mean, there's a whole lot of wins here.
Yeah, seems like it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And the grand prize goes to, drum roll, come on, cue it. Andrew White with the Million Gateways. Andrew, where are you?
Thank you.
So great job, congratulations. So what we found compelling here is just this idea of really proliferating the idea of gateways, that anybody could create one instantly, this personal gateway. Stefan Thomas always talks about this, by the way. Now everything exists to do that in the protocol, but it's actually kind of hard for people to understand how to do it and manage it. What does it mean? It's incredibly confusing. So this idea of a platform on top, a layer on top, it seems to us would be useful for utility, liquidity, and for ease of use. You could really you could see where that could go. Could be really interesting.
I think a lot of people think that you need a very small number of very, very highly trusted gateways for commerce to work. And that might be true if you have to manually find paths or if you have to go from party to party to execute a transaction. But because if it's all in the Ripple ledger, it's all instantaneous and easy to find, you can have 1 million gateways. And it doesn't matter if only a small number of people use that gateway, as long as there are people willing to create the liquidity. So everybody can have their own, not so much a currency, but a small business can have loyalty points or local, regional currencies. That all works. And people just need to make it easy to do.
Yeah, I think there are tons of applications for this. Like just the county fair, like you buy tickets to go on the rides and buy corn dogs and stuff. Like they could have their own currency just for the purpose of that fair for that day. Just being able to click a button and launch a new a gateway is awesome, and they can just be disposable. You know, you can use them for one-off events. You can use them for your internal company point systems, for vending machines that you have in the office, or there's just like a million reasons that why you'd want to just be able to create gateways very quickly. And yeah, I think this is an awesome idea. I hope it works.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. Great.
So none of these ideas were terrible, which is unique to a pitch competition. You know, so it was pretty tough. We went over discussing them. I'd love to hear more about the social media stuff at another time, you know, and hopefully you can develop that. I think that's absolutely huge to send payments. The remittance is a huge play. It's a $500 billion play, and it sounds like you're really far along on that. And hopefully that'll go really well. Some of the other ones were really interesting too. Do you want to?
Yeah, I guess some of the other ones, I would love to hear more details because you know, the implementation can be really complicated, but absolutely fascinating. So yeah, we just love the creativity.
Yeah, I think if everybody out there should just go ahead and do it, whatever they're planning on. I don't think there's anything out there that's not worth going forward on.
Totally.
All right, thank you to our judges. Thank you to all who pitched. Please be sure to see Alec over there to grab a shirt if you participated in that. And if you actually want to build these ideas, talk to me, because that's what I'm here to do, is to assist you with your ideas and get this developer ecosystem going. So thank you guys so much for attending. Hope you guys had a good time.